Continuing our top 10 starting pitchers for the 2014 MLB season. Just a quick recap. We had at number 10, Cliff Lee. Number 9, Max Scherzer. Number 8, Justin Verlander. Number 7, David Price. Number 6, Felix Hernandez. And now we'll continue our top 5. Of course, I'm RJ. Kyle, let's bring you the top 5 starting pitchers for this upcoming season. Number 5 is Yu Darvish, the strikeout master in Texas for the Texas Rangers. 2.83 ERA, 1.07 whip, 277 strikeouts, and 209.2 innings pitched. Young stunner. He's a baller.
He's really good, and he is a strikeout machine, and his pitches are so nasty. I mean, he gets the strikeouts to where a lot of batters are like looking back, like, what the hell did he just throw me? What did that pitch just do? Because all of a sudden it just disappeared. He's got nasty stuff. He knows how to put it in the right spot, and I see him having another big season here for Texas.
Absolutely, and he's one of those guys that I almost was a detractor of when he first came out, because it's like, how can he possibly be that good? How can he be getting this many strikeouts? These guys have to figure it out, and then he just keeps getting better and better and better. So this season, I'm all the way behind him.
Talk about composure, man. He's like stone-faced when he pitches. It doesn't seem like a lot of stuff gets to him, man, and he does his thing.
Absolutely, and you got to give it to Texas. They needed that ace to really complete that team, and they got it in the form of Yu Darvish, because he's only going to get better, and we'll see if he can pull out another good season here in 2014. Number 4 is going to be Adam Wainwright, St. Louis Cardinals. Last season, another great year, 2.94 ERA, 1.07 whip. Looks like the Tommy John surgery is completely behind him.
Oh, man.
And they're looking for another good year.
Comeback player of the year for me. Like, after going through that tough surgery, and just it's like he's almost better now coming off the surgery.
Because the year before, he just wasn't the same.
Yeah, he wasn't the same. He's like, it's fully healed, and you can see it's fully healed. And he's a straight up workhorse for that team, and he will come in and pitch. I'm sure in the playoffs he was trying to get out there and pitch and come in and do some relief work. So he's a fighter. He's a great pitcher. I love watching him. And Cardinals, man, they're gonna make another run this year.
Absolutely. He was the Gold Glove Award winner last season, so he's well known for his defense as well. And the thing about the Cardinals is they always are going to have a good defensive behind them. That's just, that's the style of baseball they play, kind of similar to our Rays. Yeah. And that definitely helps his status as a Gold Glove winner. Number 3, Steven Strasburg.
Mr. Nasty.
Yeah, this is a guy that we wanted to put really high up. We thought last season, which he had a 3.0 ERA and a 1.05 whip, was damn good, and we think this year will be even better.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate what's happened to this kid in his career, because he has really got some of the nastiest stuff. I mean, it reminds you of Pedro Martinez's stuff. He throws a two-seamer that looks like a slider coming from a left-handed pitcher. I mean, he can make the ball move any direction he wants it to, and when you have that with throwing 100 miles an hour, you are almost impossible to hit.
Yeah, and he's actually saying, he recently said that he is completely healthy, 100%.
I believe him.
Elbow perfect coming into this season. So that is why we here at Trippy Commentaries are really behind him.
Yeah.
We put him at number 3. We actually wanted to put him at number 2, but who could be our number 2 guy? Who's the one guy that climbed the ranks almost to the top spot?
Young gun.
Jose Fernandez for the Miami Marlins. Call us crazy, but look at his stats last year. 2.19 ERA, 0.98 whip.
Well, and how he turned it on in the second half of the season. I mean, he had a push. I think he had like a 1.32 ERA in the second half, and a .82 whip, which is just ridiculous for I don't care who you are.
Yep.
And this kid's a rookie. I mean, he's got nasty stuff. He's got great composure. And Miami, they find these diamonds in the rough. These guys, they just come up and bam, they're big time players for him. Hopefully, they can build a team around him.
Absolutely. I mean, very impressive season last year. He won the Rookie of the Year over Yasiel Puig, who, of course, he was huge.
Yep.
And then Shelby Miller, a guy I'm a big fan of for the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. So that just shows you how solid he is. He's got a great ballpark to pitch in. Very hard to hit home runs in that park. So he should continue his, solid play. And we think he is going to be only second to Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, this is a no-doubter. I mean, Clay, you have to give it to him. He's just been so good for, how many seasons now. It's just been unreal watching this guy play. I mean, his curveball is absolutely insane. Gets a lot of guys swinging and missing on that. The guy he's got a demeanor about him that a lot of pitchers don't have. Man, he just comes to the field and takes care of business.
Yep. Yeah, he is the man. Last season, look at these stats. 1.83 ERA. 0.92 whip. Man, and here's the thing. He just got paid. He got a huge 7-year, $215 million contract, so he's now financially secure, to say the least. And I don't know about you, but I just have the feeling that he's going to be an all-time great. He's not going to be one of those guys that's, I got paid. I'm set now. He's going to be one of those guys, all right, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Now I can concentrate on being one of the best pitchers the game has ever seen.
Yeah, and LA needs to do everything they can to keep him. That's a guy you cannot let go. Let him retire there. Let him possibly go in the Hall of Fame as a Dodger.
Yep, absolutely. Clayton Kershaw, he's the undisputed number one guy. I don't care who you are. If you try to say there's somebody else better than him, you're just kidding yourself. We put Jose Fernandez number 2, and that is a guy that can maybe give him a run for his money sometime in the near future. But number 1, Clayton Kershaw, he is the true king of starting pitchers going into the season. He deserves it.
Yep.
And we'll see if the Dodgers can rally around this big guy and make a playoff push. They do have some guys in place. We'll have to talk about them down the road.
Yeah, it's another conversation in itself. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. We do need to throw out some honorable mentions because, as I mentioned before, there are so many good starting pitchers in the league. It's really become a staple of Major League Baseball. It's just great pitching, and there's so many guys that teams can rally around. We have Chris Sale for the Chicago White Sox, a guy we were really looking to put in the top 10, just couldn't crack it.
Yep.
Cole Hamels for the Philadelphia Phillies, another guy who's been top-notch pitcher for quite a while, Cy Young Award winner in the past. Alex Cobb from the Tampa Bay Rays. That's a guy who, of course, had a really bad injury last season, was able to fight his way back, and he is back. I think we definitely expect big things out of him.
I can see him having a bigger season than David Price. I can see him getting into that number 1 role for the Rays.
Yeah,
so
absolutely, I agree 100%. Well, actually, I gotta say I disagree with him having a better season than David Price. I certainly think David Price is in for a monster year.
But I could easily see Cobb end up having that type of season. I mean, he could be that good. We've seen him be that good. So.
Yep, and I agree that he's going to be that good. But I'm just in the boat that I think David Price is about to explode.
Well, that's why we ranked him where we did.
Absolutely. Also, speaking of David Price and Alex Cobb, their teammate Matt Moore is another guy we expect big things out of. Last season, look at his stats, great year, and he should be getting better. He's a young buck that is going to improve quickly.
Guy I like too is Madison Bumgarner. I think he had a great season last year. I like everything he brings to the table. He's just another one of those guys that comes and fights and does everything he can do to win a game.
Mm-hmm. Shelby Miller, another very young pitcher. Look for him to step up. And St. Louis, they're just a pitcher factory. They have so many good pitchers that come out of that organization. A lot of other good pitching teammates for them to kind of get mentored by, including Adam Wainwright. Yeah. So look for Shelby Miller to have another big season for them this year. Let me try to pronounce this right. Hasashi Iwakuma for Seattle, of course. He had a great year last year as well. Look for him to continue with that success. And Homer Bailey, the Batman, he also is going to have another big year. Cincinnati is always a contender. Look for them to bounce back. Homer Bailey is one of their number 1 guys there for the Reds.
Yep.
So there it is, the top 10 pitchers coming into the 2014 season. We definitely expect a great year this year. Looking at the landscape of the teams, I feel like last year Boston was to me the clear best team. You know, when it was all said and done, they were the best team, they were the champ. But I feel like they're not as good this year as last year, and other teams have risen up. You're going to see a lot of teams that are going to truly contend for world championships this year, get into that World Series, and it should be a great year. Like I said, we'll break down every team in the spring training coming into the season, and we'll be ready.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter what you did last season. It's all new season, new everything, and it can, you know, the Red Sox, we've seen it before. They do have some slumps in their seasons. You know, we saw it the previous year before last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously some other things are going to play there, but there's a lot of teams out there that are going to be much better this year, especially even in that division there. So.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty damn excited for this year.
It's pretty ridiculous this year.
Oh, the AL East is monstrous. Orioles, you have to think, are going to be a contender once again. Of course, the NL West is another division I'm looking for. I think teams like San Francisco can bounce back with Matt Cain and Bumgarner. So we have a lot to talk about.
Yep.
A lot to get into. That was our top 10 pitchers coming into the season. We'll also be bringing you our top 10 hitters coming into the year. We're going to take all the position players, round them into one, and we're going to bring you what we think are our top 10 hitters. I'm sure you'll see a lot of outfielders, a lot of first basemen in that group. So we'll see, some shortstops or second basemen can crack the top 10. But thank you guys for joining us here. Those are our top 10 pitchers. Let us know if you guys think that, we got it down perfect, which I'm sure you guys agree. And make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe. And we'll catch you next time. For RJ, Kyle, signing out. Peace out.
See you.